should be good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my headset seemed to be fine. Okay.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Good evening, folks, and welcome inside the East Hants Sportsplex Keith Miller Arena as we get set for action in this Nova Scotia Hockey League Junior B. As we get set here, I'm Logan Carruthers, and we are live on High Button Sports as puck drop is underway here. As that gets dumped in, as Eidos will give chase, picking that puck up behind his net, wheeling that, Drew McKinnon. He gets pinched off in the corner. Eidos down low, centering pass up to O'Connor. He'll take a look. He'll dump it back in deep. Eidos down low, back for O'Connor at the point. Jake O'Connor just getting it down as he was pressured up top at the point there by Owen Hickey. As Hickey now picks up on the half wall, centering pass there as it's chipped into the neutral zone. Dumping it in there as Pictou will get on the forecheck now. Was Lane Lockhead. Lockhead coming into this game, leading the league in points. Number one amongst all skaters as it's played around. Starting in net down there for the Pictou County Scotians, number 34, Eli James. So that's puck worked into the neutral zone and sent back into the neutral zone by the Penguins as it goes down in deep. And out to play that puck, getting a start for the Penguins, number 29, Finton Boudreau. As it's dumped in, just missing the hit on the far side and picking that puck up. Reverse play there, far side, Price chipping it back just to the point. As it's a shot on, just wide. The pad as that works all the way around, back into the neutral zone, picked up. Here's Hansen. Hansen, toe drag shot, and he sends it wide. Out the far side, that's picked up and worked back into the neutral zone over the line. Here's Wyatt Spence, lets one go, and it's wide. Crossman down low, centering shot there. Goes back to the point, fanned on that puck. Here's a chance in front. Alone there was Chris Jordan as the puck off of his stick and back into the neutral zone as that's cleared by the Penguins. Good pressure here by the Scotians as it goes back. Nice little D-to-D play there as it's worked back. Here's McIntyre. McKinnon. McKinnon works it in, gets a little hook. They'll let him play. McKinnon down low. In behind the net. Drew McKinnon spinning. Looking up front off the skate. And back over to the half wall. Back to the point and sent all the way back in by Martin MacArthur. Reverse play there and behind the net, looking for it in his feet and working it up the wall. That's number 8, Isaac Lawson. As it's sent in, no icing on the play. Anderson back behind his own net and he'll wheel. Anderson, chip play for himself. He'll continue going up the wall as two Penguins collide there. Diab and Brill. Brill, a big customer himself, looking at his skates, maybe lost an edge, and that's worked in. O'Connor kicks it up to himself. O'Connor shot. In behind, Jake O'Connor down low. Back for the point. That's Cormier. Noah Cormier, D-to-D. Picked up shot there by Diab, and O'Connor will pick it up on the short side. Working it in behind. That was intended for Brill. Got a stick on that, and it's chipped high into the neutral zone. Como will pick it up. Noah Como, a smooth skating defender for the Penguins as he works it back for O'Connor. He works out the far side. And sent back in, Diab. Dodging that hit. As it's picked up and behind. Reverse play right on front. Shot there. Blocker save. Big save by Eli James as he gobbles that shot up from the half wall for a whistle and a stoppage of play. Face off going to go to his glove side as a weird bounce off the end wall, and James up for the task as that was a dangerous opportunity for the Penguins here in the early going. 16:44 remaining on the clock in the first period. Face off, glove hand side of James. Battled for there, one back by the Penguins. Como back down the wall. It'll be walked over, shot there, blocked as he took that off the hand. Blake McClellan as it goes down the far side now. Picked up, cycled down low for McKeegan. McKeegan in the corner now. He'll pick it up. Nice move trying to cut it over top of the circles as he gets taken down. Good hard defensive play there by Luke Pino. As that puck now through the neutral zone. Good stick. Worked back as that'll be picked up. Shot there as that was picked off in the neutral zone by McCollum Stokes. As he'll get in on the forecheck. McClellan, D-to-D. For McNamara. McNamara high off the glass in the neutral zone for O'Connor now. O'Connor fakes the drop and he'll pick it up and he'll get his feet moving up ice. Jake O'Connor over the line. Back pass there. Shot there and a big hit on the far side. And a goal at the same time. As taking the hit to make the play, Colin Stokes He's a little slow to get up. He might be a little shaken up, but buried it in front there, Nick Morin. And he opens the scoring for the Penguins here in the first period. So Nick Morin with the opening goal here for the Penguins as they take a 1-0 lead. 15:48 remaining. And the Penguins off to a 1-0 lead here on a massive hit, but making the play. McCallum Stokes. It's a face-off back here at center, one back by the Penguins. Picking that up, chipping it up the wall is Sanford trying to forecheck now. Flip back in the neutral zone, picked up. Here's Stewart. He dumps that puck in, offside. Zitz worked back in behind, stopped up by James. Working out the far side. Nice pass to the trailing wingers. He dumps it in one hand. Good job there to get it in deep was Hickey. Stewart turns it over down low. Good forecheck there by Owen Hickey as he dumped it in. He'll get right back in on the forecheck. And here's Itos, far side, working it over the line. Itos dumps it in and picked up here on the short wall. Is that sent down around? That was Chris Casey. Price stepping up, big hit there as Hickey took the worst of that. On a big hit there by Price is Casey continuing to forecheck now. Play up the wall here, picked up by Crossman. He gets dummied by Casey. Offside as Itos picks it up now. He'll cross the line. Shot on, blocked though on the way through, and that's dumped down by Sanford. Picked up far side centering pass. Nice play around one as that's worked in. Nice move around another as it's a chance shot there. Off the blocker, up and out of play on a nice move there by number 13, Amos Crossman. Crossman showing his display of skill. Picking up the speed in the neutral zone and making a nice move as he toe dragged around Casey Opus. Face off, glove hand side here of Finton Boudreau. One back to the point, shot there. Paddled away by Casey as a point shot there. Coming from number 55, Blake McClellan. Here's a chance in the high slot, trying to get the shot away. Here's a nice pass in front as shot there, a save as a bunch of opportunities here coming for the Scotians. Puck loose in front, rebound picked up. Work back to the point, McClellan's shot. Pad saves, it works over to the sidewall. Dumping it back in, good job holding the line there, Drew McKinnon. As it's picked up on the far side, getting center, dumping it in there, and he'll give chase. That was Ponapaulis as it's worked up, picked up there, high slot shot. As it goes off and into the mesh in the corner as that was picked up in the high slot opportunity there by Jason Hansen. Hansen played his minor hockey out of Bedford. Hansen with a good opportunity as he was paired out there with Curtin and Ponapaulis. As face-off going to go to the glove hand side here of James. 1-0 lead for the Penguins. Offensive zone draw. Reverse play. Taken away. Centering pass. Trying to get that shot away. In front there was Aiden Nicholson as it's worked back in the neutral zone. Dumping chance there. Goes off O'Connor and back in behind. Here's Como. Feeding it up to the point. Kept in and sticked out a play there on the shot from distance. And handled easily there by Boudreau to knock it into the mesh for a stoppage of play here. Face off, going to stay inside as Boudreau, last one to touch it as he used his stick to draw the face off to his blocker side. Puck drop, Diab trying to clear, back to the point, held in. As that's sent in, good job to hold the line on the far side. That's Carter Hood. Como pressure down low, centering pass. There's a chance out in front, can't get the shot away. It was O'Connor. Headman pass too far away from Diab, and O'Connor's going to pressure and hold back as he thought better of it. Is picked up, worked out. Carter Hood. One too many stick handles in the neutral zone as it got turned over, dumped in. Not far enough. Como. He'll take his time, work it back, far side. Now it's worked to the close side, picked up. O'Connor's going to get his feet moving up ice. Here's Jake O'Connor, kicks it wide. Working it in, shot there, looking for a pass off the pad. Good look there. Number 77, that's Aiden Nicholson. Down low, that could have been a board. Taking that check, Nicholson getting up and getting right back into the play. As it's worked up high, over top. Diab, backhand pass, it's picked off. He picks it right back up though, centering far side for the most recent goal scorer, Nick Morin. It's Morin opening the scoring here in the first period. 15:48 on the clock, I believe, when he netted his first of the game home as it's picked up far side. Anderson, that's going to be chipped in there by MacArthur, and a Full line change for the Scotians. Far stretch pass picked up. Worked. Here's Hansen now. Hansen shot there, blocked on the way through as McKinnon wore that off the angle. A big hit on the far side. Taking the worst of that. Over there was Ethan Daly as it's dumped in. Good job by Stewart to get it in deep. Facing pressure there as it's worked back off the bench. Eidos picking it up in the high area as it's worked along down there by Hansen. Dumping that puck back out into the neutral zone was Daly. He'll give chase. Good thing he's okay. He took a big hit. It's Daly on the forecheck as him and Brown were in there together. Stewart reversing up the wall. Hansen trying to get to it as he looked to go the middle as it's sent all the way back in by Pictou. Sent down on net, though. No icing on the play as that'll be played far side. James clearing into the neutral zone. Chipping up above. That's bobbled over the stick there. Stepping up. It looked like it's number 5, Casey Opus. Nice play there. Here's a chance in the slot. Too many stick handles once again as it's over to the far side. Lockhead turns it over in a battle down low as it's worked back. Picked up here. Sanford works it out far side. Over the line. That's Casey. Chris Casey down low. Looking over his options. Centering off the skate up in the air. Picked up and worked out. Here's McNamara. McNamara will skate it up far side on his backhand. Dumping it in. Still give pressure. Get to it first. As McNamara cutting down. Loses his feeding. Centering pass. Too far out of the reach as it's poked back in the neutral zone by Chris Casey. Nice move around one there as he gets center and dumps it high up in the air, and an offside call there. And that's going to go all the way back down, it looks like. That was flipped high up in the air, up and over everyone by Carter Hood, and face-off's going to go back here in the neutral zone. .10:33 remaining on the clock here in the first period. Face-off just outside the Scotian zone. Hansen will dig in. He'll try to poke it in deep. Picked up, centering pass through the middle. That goes through everyone. Right down on net is Boudreau. Plays it there. Como pushed it wide for O'Connor off the stick and up and out of play. And a face-off's going to stay inside. 10:19 now remaining. On a broken stick there, it looked like. The stick exploded, it looked like, for number 19. Lockhead. That's Lane Lockhead. Entering the game, leading the league in points, as I mentioned earlier, is Lockhead. Face-off glove hand side of Boudreau. Puck one, kicked out. Nice play there to work it out into the neutral zone. That's Curtin. Nice play there. O'Connor back spinning pass. It's picked off. Good back check. Now there's a chance in front for Ponopoulos as O'Connor did manage to work it to him. Puck back. Como picking it up in the neutral zone. Noah Como will sauce a pass over here, picked up by O'Connor. Over the line, O'Connor takes a hit as he dumps it in deep. Reversing. Here's a centering pass that goes all the way back past Como as he'll have to go back into his own zone. Noah Como picking it up, faking to go up the wall. He'll retreat behind his own net, using it as some defense. Nice move by O'Connor as he works it up the wall. Getting a stick on it was Curtin. Just enough to slow it down. Picked up DDD in front. Got to be careful there as that's worked up the wall by Anderson. Back into the neutral zone here once again. Price will dump it in. Over around to stop it. There's James. Picked up. Takes a hit to make a play. He goes DDD as the Scotians look to break out now. Far side centering. Picked off in the high slot. Here's Diab down low. James got caught in between a poke check and bearing that home. All alone in front was Aiden Nicholson, and he'll give the Penguins a 2-0 lead here in the opening period as Nicholson on a nice feed from Diab gives the Penguins a 2-0 lead here. Face off back at center ice. It's right off the draw, looking for more. Was Diab as that was pushed forward and he went to pressure as that's worked in. Nice play to stop up, give himself some time. Centering pass. Good job to get a stick on it there was Morin. Morin with the first goal in the game. She opened the scoring. DD play here, picked up, worked up the wall. Too far out of the reach of everyone as it's worked back here by Stewart for Casey. Casey goes up the wall. Here's Nicholson. Shot there, blocked, and up and out of play. It's a little bit of rough stuff in front of the net between Morin, it looks like there, and Carter Hood. Face-off's going to stay inside. Chris Casey will dig in. Back to the point. Looking for Casey in the slot. Doesn't connect. Good look there off the draw. Taking a hit. High hit up in the head area there was Casey Opus. So that's worked out to the far side. Chip play there. Working it back, getting to it first and sending it right back in was Chris Casey. Nice play there. Centering high. Casey picks it off, dumps it back in. Picked off, worked back once again into the neutral zone and sent right back in by Casey Opus. McNamara behind his own net, cutting back in behind there, giving himself some time. Zitz worked up, centering pass into the neutral zone, picked up there by Wyatt Spence. He works one-on-one, shot blocker, save, rebound. Swiped away out of harm's way into the neutral zone. Itos pressuring. Sent right back. Here's a 3-on-2 opportunity if they can get going. Held at the line, picked up, Camo into his feet, works it back. And that goes offside, getting in ahead of the puck there. Over on the far side was Itos. DDD off the stick of Stanford, up and out of play. Over the glass on the far side. 7:18 remaining in the first period. 2-0 lead for the Penguins and a face-off just outside the Scotian zone. Cross ice from the benches. Colum Stokes will dig in as he'll face off against Supraika as he gets kicked out of the draw. Now it'll be Lockhead. One back by Lockhead. D-to-D pass. Worked up here by the Scotians. Centering. Good stick on that as McKeegan will work it back. Here's O'Connor trying to cut to the middle as it's poked off his stick at the line. And sent back into the neutral zone. Picked up with some speed. Lockhead trying to go through everyone. He gets taken down by McCullum Stokes. Stokes works across far side. Is that puck high up in the air? Working it back. As O'Connor will retrieve it into his own zone. O'Connor cutting back up the wall. Chipping it up there, Ponopoulos. He'll collect it, take his time as Ponopoulos will go right up the wall. Trying to get it in there. As it's turned over and working it right back in. Over the line, turned over though as that worked back. Headman pass too far out of the reach though there for Moran. Picked up far side, Camo. Almost lost his footing as now he'll work it in. Noah Camo's shot, that's wide. Ponopoulos will pick that puck up, trying to center it there as Hansen off the bench. Jason Hansen centering pass, Camo's shot there, blocked in front. Sacrificing the body, Carter Hood, as it's worked back. Casey will have to go all the way back, or sorry, Price, and that'll be an icing call. No change for the Penguins as Owen Hickey's going to have to get back on the ice down below us. So Hickey's forced to stay in a face-off in the offensive zone here for the Penguins. Curtin, Hansen, and Ponopoulos out there on this offensive zone draw. Stewart and Price at the point. Puck worked up the wall, kept in by Hansen momentarily as it's worked back. Here come the Scotians through the neutral zone. Picked up there was Lane Lockhead as he gets poked off of his stick. Hansen will bring it further back into his own zone and work it up to the far side. The Penguins going cross ice here quite a few times. Curtin takes a little bump to the face there as it's worked up to the far side. Stepping up, Price takes a bump just to make the play. As that's a 3-on-2 back the other way. Curtin's going to drive wide. Ponopoulos knocked off his stick. Good back check there. Hard back check by Nate Supraika as it's worked back. Poked off the stick, and Hansen will pick it up and dump it back in. Curtin's going to give chase. Still pressure. Porter, McNamara. McNamara cutting back. poking it up the wall. Lockhead turning over right off the bench. Nicholson shot there, and he rips her home. Nicholson nets his second of the game right off the bench with a gift as Lockhead turned it over into the slot and right off the bench. Bearing it home, glove side, was Aiden Nicholson as he makes it 3-0 in Nicholson's second of the game. As his line's contributing all 3 goals here as Morin netted the first one. Face-off back here at center ice. Diab and Daly getting told to get out of the face-off circle here right in front of us as it's dropped, and we are back underway here as Lawson chips it up the wall. Far side, Anderson working it up the wall, turned over as it's in the feet of the official. So the linesman getting in the way a little bit as it's puck dumped in there. Good job to keep with it and dump it all the way in was Will Brown. Opus, D-to-D. Nicholson, his second of the game. Nicholson works it in. As Curtin and Ponopoulos getting the assist on the Nicholson goal. A shot there from distance, blocked in front. Picked up, far side. Centering now to Daly's. He pokes it around Camo. Camo with the long range there, pokes it back out. Offside, delayed offside, picked up O'Connor behind his net. He'll stop up and set up a breakout. Jake O'Connor works to the far side wall. Morin centering for Nicholson. Over the line. Nicholson, nice move, trying to split the D there. As players going down, centering pass and slot. Rebound sent just wide. Diab sending his man to the ice. His body's flying all over the place. Here's a chance. Nicholson shot high up in the air over to the far side off the glass. Camo centering to Morin under his skate. Trying to clear it all the way. That goes past O'Connor. No icing as he must have got a stick on that. O'Connor's going to wheel it up the far side now. Nice move around one. O'Connor squeezing down the wall. He'll get it in deep. Having to go all the way back. Carter Hood now in the corner. Hood centering pass. Connects there with Nate Supraika as it's kicked out wide. Here's a shot off the post and in. Ripping that puck home from the far side was John K. Martin. And they get on the board here to make it 3-1 on a nice shot there by John K. Martin, ripping it past the glove hand side of goaltender Boudreau. As Martin will get credited for the goal and the first goal for the Scotians. Face off back here at center ice. 3:30 exactly on the clock remaining. Quick talk there by the official. Has had a couple words for Crossman as a face-off. And we're back underway here. 3-1 the score now as it's worked back. Here's a chance. Working it wide. Shot there. Save off the chest protector as the Penguins looking to get that goal right back here as they work to get it down. Picked up on the dump in there, worked up. Martin, he's got a goal. As it's worked in, Martin shot blocker save into the mesh. As Martin looking for his second of the shift. It's a full line change here coming for the Scotians. Forward change coming up for the Penguins. Face off, going to be inside, blocker hand side of Boudreau. Hansen trying to win it back. Lost into his feet now. He'll collect and take his time and behind his own net. Jason Hansen. Cross-ice pass looking to stretch out the zone there was Ponopoulos. He looked to get in on a breakaway, but a good defensive play there on the far side by Josh Anderson. Slow to get up and behind the net there. Looks like number 6. Or number 8. That's Isaac Lawson as it's worked back, dumped in. Picked up. Good job there by Opus to get it around. Trying to work it to his winger as Hansen turns it over now. Here's a chance. Kicking it wide. Here's a shot, Anderson. Glove save. Boudreau makes it look easy as that puck right into his glove, and he'll hold on for a whistle. Face off, going to stay to the blocker side. 2:28 remaining on the clock in the first period. Another line change coming up here for the Scotians as well. For the Penguins, as both sets of forwards swapping out. Nicholson, Morin, and Diab will hop over. Lockhead, Supraika, and Hickey for the Scotians. As it's sent back, here's Price. Far. Zig's going to look for a bank pass off the end wall, and Diab gets to it first. Nice job there by Diab getting to it first as he out skated Blake McClellan. It's a puck down the corner now, separated. Diab for Nicholson, shot, that's wide. Nicholson looking for the elusive hat trick. All in the first period, a natural one. As it's sent around, far side, Price trying to clear it out, can't do so. Picked up Nicholson, he'll clear it. Picked off though by Hood. Hood's gonna dump it in, take a little bump by Diab, and he'll peel back. Far side is Hood on the far defense point. That's worked out to the far side. Morin over his stick, Hood stepping up. Hood around one as he'll work it in now over the line. Carter Hood, nice move around another one just out of his reach, so as it goes into the corner. Trying to center there, good job was Price as it goes down low and behind. Back for Hood at the point. Carter Hood, fake shot there. Now he'll let one go, blocked by Morin. Nicholson in the corner. He'll go back here as that goes D to D, looking for Pierce. Just work back. Morin, 1-on-3. Morin's going to drive wide, try to put it through the skates of Hood. As Hood blocked it, goes D to D for McNamara. McNamara up the wall, dumping it back in. Eidos, far side, Morin. He'll get to it first. Nick Morin shot on, rebound in front, cleared away. Hood, far side, chipping it up. Morin's going to knock it back. Sanford tried to work it right back in, picked off Camo in the neutral zone. Here's Noah Camo. There's a trailer coming in. Stanford late shot there, blocked. Back to the point. O'Connor dumping it back in. Stanford centering. Good defensive stick there by Hood. Half a minute remaining here in the opening period. Eidos down low, too far for Stanford, but that'll be picked up. Casey centering all the way through the crease, picked up close side here. Crossman, good forecheck here by Eidos as it's worked up just out inside the line. Stays in on a forecheck by Casey as Hood now clears it. Lockhead, too far from him, is Como going to send it back in off the skate of the official, and Lockhead send it back in, and that'll do it for the first period of play. So after one period of play, the Penguins lead the Scotians by a score of 3-1. Be sure to stay tuned here for a second period of action in 15 minutes time here live on High Button Sports.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Welcome back, folks, as we get set here for second period of action here, live from the East Hants Sportsplex Keith Miller Arena. Now we are underway as the whistle had gone there. The linesman kicking out, I believe, or saying back up as it's picked off here in the neutral zone, working that puck in Camo. Far side, picked off by Casey, sent in behind. Sanford's going to pressure. McClellan sends it around, and he dumps Casey. That's sent back. Here's Camo in his own zone. He'll cut back in the corner and get picked off. Here's Lockhead centering pass, too far behind. Turned over as that puck stuck to the ice as Sanford rims it around. Ito's pressured by Lockhead. Sent back off the official as it's stuck up and behind her. Ito's working it back, D to D. O'Connor to Camo. Camo bobbles the puck, pokes it out into the neutral zone. Battle here just outside the red line. Sent back in, around. Boudreau couldn't handle it as O'Connor, far side. Pressured there, out front, picked up. O'Connor's going to wheel. He'll chip it out. Casey as he picks it right back to O'Connor. Nice give and go there by O'Connor and Casey. O'Connor working it in, down low. So he has it now, down low. Here's a chance out front. He lets a shot go on the backhand, looking for upstairs, but taking a lot away was Eli James. Puck back here at center ice. Work back, picking it up across the line. Nick Morin looking for Hansen. Hansen centering pass. Trying to connect there with Ponapoulos as it's sent back by Curtin. Ponapoulos finishing his check off in the corner, picking that puck up, wheeling number 74, Chris Jordan. He kicks it wide. He will get it back down low. Jordan centering pass, worked high slot shot there. Rebound kicked away by Boudreau. Chipped high up into the air. Picked up there. Hood centers all the way down. Off a weird bounce and held on to for a whistle by Boudreau. So Finton Boudreau's going to freeze that puck up with 18:09 remaining. So I thought it was going to be, I don't know why they brought it all the way back for icing. Because I thought the goalie came out and covered it. A little confusion, I believe, with the players as well. Face off in the offensive zone now. So covering the puck on one end, now a face off in the other end. Don't really know how that one all worked its way out, but picked up here on the short side and worked back into the middle as it's big hit there by Casey. Centering all the way down as that was too far a reach for Diab, and I don't know why they blew that down as it looked like Casey was going to get to that puck first. As in hybrid icing rules are in effect. As Casey looked like he was going to touch that puck up first, and icing whistled down to face off to the glove hand side now of goaltender Finton Boudreau. One back, here's a shot. That's off the blocker and up and out of play. Right past the head of the official in the corner. Dodging that puck off the quick shot on the far side. Letting that puck go there was Wyatt Spence. Pierce. And Diab out there. Here's a shot there. Kicked away. Nicholson trying to rim it around. Good stick there. In behind the net. That was could have been a hook. Hand pass not in effect in the D zone as that was played back by the hand of defenseman. As here's a call coming from the back official. As it looks like they'll kick him right out of the game. No official call yet. 2 minutes on the board. Taking that penalty, bill number 28, Drew McKinnon, as he heads off to the box here. 17-19 remaining in the second period. Power play for the Penguins. Hansen, Nicholson, and Casey. Camo out there as well. I'll throw a fourth forward in Diab. So Camo works it. Here's Diab. Shot there. Blocker save up and out of play. So that'll go up for a whistle. 17-11 now remaining here in the second period. And they'll redo the face-off once again. Hansen will dig in. So he'll face off against Camden Burgess. Hansen back to the point. Diab down low. Hansen trying to find Nicholson, and it's sent down. Picked off there in the slot by Wyatt Spence. Sent down. Camo, a little bit of pressure. He'll retreat behind his net. Leave that puck. Worked up. Here's Nicholson into the neutral zone. Nicholson trying to feed a pass across on the far side, but it goes off a skate and all the way back down. Camo will set back up again. Casey's going to pick it up behind his own net. Far side. Hansen through the middle. Back for Casey and over the line. Casey Nicholson into his feet. Camo's going to hold it, and offside called from the far side of the ice. And a full line change here coming up for the Penguins. Coach has seen enough of that power play. He'll try power play 2 out here. 16:32 remaining. 4 forwards out there once again for the Penguins. Sanford, Ponopoulos. I believe Curtin on the far side as it's sent down. O'Connor, the sole defenseman, is Morin. The 4th forward out there is Morin. Will pick it up behind his own net. Nick Morin, pass it wide, too far for Ponopoulos, and picked off in the neutral zone, sent all the way back down by Blake McClellan. O'Connor, he'll decide to wheel it out himself. He'll dish it off. Morin with speed. Crossing over the line, Morin. Drop back for Ponopoulos. Right back for Morin as that's cleared down. Is not being able to control it cleanly. A little give and go, too fast. Took a weird hop on Boudreau. He couldn't go play it. O'Connor, once again, will pick it up. Dish it, Morin. He'll work it up into the neutral zone. He'll get to the blue line, dump it in, rim around to the far side. Curtin. O'Connor got lucky. He was the last man back as he held the line. Jake O'Connor up top. He'll set it up. O'Connor to his backhand now. Shot there. O'Connor trying to sneak it over the blocker side. Chipped up by Lane Lockhart. He'll take a bump, not get it out though as it's trying to clear it there. Just back to the blue line is Ponopoulos. Nice move around one. Takes a bump. Back to the point. O'Connor one-timer shot there. Save. Rebound loose. In front. Cleared back to the point. O'Connor once again into his feet. Loses it, and it's a 2-on-1. Back here for the Scotians. Working that puck over the line. Nice defensive play there. Batting it out of the air. Curtin. That's Brady Curtin as the Stewart gets on. They get both defensemen out there. Shot there. Up and up and up and up and out of play. As a face-off now going to stay inside as that shot rallied high up off the stick. Almost clearing the mesh in behind the net as Anderson let that go from distance, ricocheting off a couple sticks and out of play. Pinot will dig in on the face-off here in the offensive zone, trying to win it back as Brown was parked up in behind him as that'll go back into the D zone. McNamara works it to the wall, chip past McKeegan. Far side, worked right back. Out of the reach is McNamara. Scoreboard, yeah. Scoreboard, yeah. Okay. So the face-off's going to stay inside blocker hand side here of Eli James. (3-1) still the score here. Puck back to the point. Stewart down low. Back here's a one-timer shot there. High slot there from Brill. Edos. Edos sending it down around and behind the net. McKeegan's going to pressure. McKeegan trying to get it out front. McCullum Stokes now centering. Picked off in the slot. John K. Martin. He's got one. Stick knocked out of the hand of the defender and delayed call here coming. Interference going to be the call, so a face-off all the way back down here in the offensive zone draw. Power play once again for the Penguins. So they'll try to have a better result of the last one. It was a little scrambly where the Penguins. Face-off's going to stay. Blocker side once again here. Hansen, he'll dig in. Penalty for interference to number 14, Martin MacArthur. As it goes D-to-D, Casey back to Camo. Camo stepping around 2. He'll work it down, back for Casey. Pressure there at the point. Held in, good job by Casey. Is tons of pressure here by the Scotians on the penalty kill. Casey on the wall now. Down low, Hansen. Back for Casey. Picked off, chipped into the neutral zone, and Camo will have to collect. He'll back off, work it to the far side. Dumping it in. Eidos, pressure there. Casey trying to clear it out. Far side play there. Eidos down low, rimming it all the way around for Casey as they try to open up the zone and get the Scotians running around, and that's cleared off a batted puck down the full length of the ice by number 66, Wyatt Spence. Camo leaves it for Casey. Heel wheel, take a trip. No call on the play. They'll let him play on. Nicholson, far side, too far to the reach. Picked up, clearing attempt. Stopped by Nicholson. He'll hold it at the line. Nicholson has 2 on the night. Shot there. He dished it wide. Casey with a wide open net. Couldn't get the shot away. Nicholson back for Casey. Casey's going to take his time. Work it up over top of everyone. Back to the high man slot. Eidos, far side. Looking down for Camo. Camo shot. Blocker save. Rebound and in. As burying that rebound home in front. Jason Hansen. And a power play goal, 4-1 now for the Penguins. And Hansen capitalizes on a better looking power play as they spread out the defense for the Scotians. And power play goal here for Hansen. I believe the assist coming from Eidos and Camo. So Jason Hansen with the power play goal. As the Penguins control it off the draw. Centering pass, touched up by McCullum Stokes. No icing, pressure there. Eidos. So the assist will go to Diab. Big hit there by McCullum Stokes. It's worked in. Now here's a chance shot. Big save by Boudreau is an opportunity as they get tied up down there. Was Owen Hickey. Puck worked back into the neutral zone. Kicking it wide. Now here's a chance. Moran shot into the chest protector. Squeezing it down there and holding on for a whistle once again. James doing a great job keeping his team in it the best he can. No fault of his own on that last one. So Diab going to get the assist as well with Camo on a nice goal. Hansen cleaning up their garbage in front of the net. So here's Jason Hansen out once again, an offensive zone draw on his forehand. Hansen gets kicked. Curtin going to go in. Ponopoulos going to go up top. Here's Curtin now. Curtin snaps it back on his forehand. Lawson, D-to-D. Shot there, blocker save as the shot came from Casey Opus. Down low. Curtin gives a bump. As Hansen picks it up. Into his feet, centering pass. Ponopoulos, the referee, takes a fall. Hopefully she's all right, and she still blew the whistle as hopefully she's okay. Just must have caught an edge down in the corner. Faceoff's going to stay inside to the blocker hand side of James. Once again, Hansen pushing it forward now. And a little different look there for the Penguins as it's cleared into the neutral zone. Opus is going to have to go back. Up top, cycle play there, so his official They end up giving the goal to Diab, so I believe they must have just got the numbers mixed up there. Curtin's going to forecheck, finishes check. Hanson's going to pressure, pushed away there. Nice breakout by the Scotians. That's all started with Eli James pushing the puck, now centering. Far side, couldn't connect. Hanson going to chip it off the glass and send it all the way down. That'll go the full length, icing the call here. 10:32 remaining on the clock, and an icing call. Face-off going to go all the way back into the Penguins zone here. Scotians with an offensive zone draw, choosing the far side. Right off the bench, Camden Burgess. He'll dig in against Curtin. So he got a verbal warning. Second one will be a penalty if he goes early. Face-off won by Curtin. Good job there by Braden. Carter is his brother. That sent high up in the air, picked up. McNamara using his net for protection, working it up the wall. That'll connect up the far side by Wyatt Spence as it's sent right back. Centering pass there, picked up, worked in MacArthur. Dishing it wide, nobody home as it's sent back. Here's MacArthur, down low. Back for the point. Shot there from distance, that was McNamara, centering. Good job by Stanford, back defensively there as it's worked back into the neutral zone. Eidos looking, shot, blocked, rebound, shot there by Ponopoulos sent wide, chipping that up Stanford. As Hood having a couple words with Ponopoulos as they head up the ice. Now here's a chance. Shot there. Blocker save. Looking for the rebound. Once again, shot on and held on to Finton. Boudreau taking a long stop in there was Wyatt Spence. So Hood having a couple words with Ponopoulos as they headed up the ice. Wonder what that was exactly about. I know Ponopoulos delivered a decent hit down the corner. Hood probably didn't appreciate that too much. 4-1 the lead here for the Penguins. O'Connor chipping it off the skate into the high slot now. Trying to let that go. Poked off the stick. Good stick there by Camo. Casey's going to get speed. Dumping it in, and he'll get to it first. Casey and Hood going to battle for it down the corner. Hood chipping it up the wall off the official, and Casey still 1-on-2 down there battling. Puck cleared back to the point. Camo trying to center. Doesn't connect with anyone except for the opposition. Eidos on the back check. Turns it over and picked up. Hood's going to wheel it out. Picked up. Eidos looking for an option. Turns it over. Now here's a chance for Hood. If he can get his feet moving. Is that good back check there by O'Connor. As he cuts up the wall. That's Jake O'Connor. Good battle there by him as he picks it up now. O'Connor trying to pinch it past Hood. So he rubs out Hood. Hood's going to dump it in. Camo. Nice move by him as he stops up quick and sends it back up the close side, wheeling out the far side and dumping it in, heading off for a change. Eidos. Nick Eidos with the smart play there. As he was at the end of his shift, just got center and making sure it got in deep. That goes past Stewart. No icing. Pierce will go back for it. D-to-D for Stewart. Stewart up the wall, connecting there for Callum Stokes. Is Diab now going to press it through his feet? He'll work it down low. Backhanding sauce pass up. It was in the air. Stewart tried to body it down. Couldn't do so as Pierce will go back for, or Price. Pierce, my apologies. Picked up there. Going to look for something. Back door. Can't connect. There was the captain, Nate Saperka. Puck battled on the end wall between Price and Saperka. They get their sticks up in the air. Here's a centering pass all the way back to the point. Turned over now. 2-on-1. Diab has McCullum Stokes. And are they going to go? And behind the play is if they looked like they were going to square off. So both going to head off. It looked like there was number 10, Owen Hickey, had a couple words with Pierce, both getting cross-checking penalties. It looked like they were going to go at it last time I did the game here at the East Hants Sportsplex. Fight in the third period. I'm sure they don't want to go until then anyway, so giving each other a couple words saying, hey, maybe see you in the third. As there was a 2-on-1 going back up the other ice almost a potential 3-on-1. That got taken away from them, so a 7:37. We're going to get some 4-on-4 action. Lawson out on defense with Stewart. Hansen out with Morin. Sabraika going to be out there with the leading point getter Lane Lockhead. Up front for the Scotians. As on the back end, it'll be Drew McKinnon and McNamara. Stewart works it to Hansen, just over his stick. Down low, Hansen using his range to protect himself. Working it to Morin. Nick Morin spins out of the check in the corner. Working it for Hansen, takes a fall and turns it over now. Here's a 3-on-2. Short break the other way for the Scotians. Working it wide. Nice back check there by Morin as he turns it right back. Morin used all his energy on the back check. Couldn't get his feet going. Back the other way. Lockhead over the line. Going to make a move to the outside now. Lockhead cutting back. Tons of space for Lane Lockhead. As he works it over top. Looking back door. Nice play there and a beautiful goal by the Scotians on a tic-tac-toe setup and bearing it home. Behind the tender there was Drew McKinnon. And McKinnon 4-2 now on a nice give and go by Lockhead. And the captain, Nate Shaperka, on a 4-2. 4-on-4 goal here. Face off back to center ice on what a nice give and go touch play there. As Drew McKinnon finished it off. So the Penguins looking to rebound here. Camo with Casey O'Connor. It's Casey now. Centering pass. He finds Camo. Camo gets it picked off his stick and back the other way. 2-on-1 opportunity. Jordan gonna walk it in. Shot there high. Short side. Jordan let that puck go. 2-on-1 opportunity. Tipped on net and held on by Boudreau. As John K. Martin was driving the net on the 2-on-1. Face off, Camo for O'Connor behind the net. Working it up to the neutral zone. O'Connor off his stick. The trap seems to be working here for the Scotians as Camo going to cut up through the middle now. Nice move by Noah Camo. And over the line, Camo to his backhand, driving it down low. And behind the net, Camo centering pass. Here's O'Connor, high slot shot, that's wide. Centering, and it goes backdoor shot, that's wide. Off a skate, and it found a man backdoor was Casey. Nice move around one. Just out of the box, working that puck in. Here's Hickey. Hickey going to drop the shoulder. One-handed shot, couldn't get it off. Hard enough is off the pad. Chipping that puck high up into the air, back into the D zone. Hood will have to go back. He's pressured by Stanford. Hood, reverse play, working it up. That was Anderson, too far to the reach of everyone, and O'Connor's going to go all the way down, and he was pressured by Hickey and icing the call with 5:11 remaining on the clock here. In the second period, face-off looks like it's going to go to the glove hand side of goaltender Eli James, who's allowed 4 goals this evening. The Scotians enter the game with a 3-3 record, 6 points on the year, 30 goals for, 25 against. As the Penguins enter with a 5-1 record with 10 points, 28 goals for, and 19 against. A little bit of extracurricular here going on. After the whistle, nothing too crazy, a little whack, and doing a good job letting them play this game out here on the Thursday evening before Thanksgiving weekend. Thanks for tuning in here live on High Button Sports. Nicholson back. Diab shot, scores off the draw. Diab buries it home. And the Penguins get the 3-goal lead back as they lead 5-2. Right off the draw, Nicholson drew it back right to Diab, and Diab ripping it past the blocker of Eli James, and a 5-2 lead now for the Penguins, 5:06 remaining. Nice goal there by Diab, perfectly placed shot over the pad under the blocker of Eli James. The Penguins get right back, get that goal right back as it's worked into the neutral zone. Chip play there. MacArthur, nice move around one, centering, good defensive play. Nicholson doing it at both ends of the ice. Nicholson trying to clear, gets his hip turned there as it's back in behind, turned over, down low, looking for something in front. MacArthur centers, Nicholson picks it up. Good job Nicholson getting back defensively there. Like I said, doing it on both ends. Chip play there. Diab shot blocker save. He was looking for two in one shift as that was sent back. MacArthur heard some footsteps, got rid of it. That was Diab on the back check as it's picked up. MacArthur dumping it in. Diab centers, can't connect. Picked up, high slot shot. Blocker save. As that's worked back just into the neutral zone now. Here's McNamara. McNamara, far side, touched just enough by McKinnon. That's Drew McKinnon, most recent goal scorer for the Pictou County Scotians, as it's worked up. Ponapalooza. Palace now in behind his opposition's net. Now looking for a backdoor pass, sneaking in with Stewart. That's Bryce Stewart taking down, no call. Working it back. Lockhead takes a bump from Curtin. Good defensive job there by Brady Curtin. As it's worked up, centered. Hickey kicking it wide. Lockhead now stops up, has another assist in this one as here's a chance. Shot there right into the chest protector, held on. Cleared up into the mesh and out of play for a whistle, and a face-off's going to stay inside. No change for the Penguins as it was shot straight out of play by the defender, so a face-off's going to stay inside. 3:23 remaining in the second period. Offensive zone draw for the Scotians. Back to the point. High shot there by Anderson over to the far side corner. Cycle play. Doesn't connect as it's off the skate now. Down low. Hickey. Lockhead. High slot shot. Couldn't let her go. As that's picked up. Ponapalus working it over. He'll cut to the middle. Looking for an option. Ponapalus shot there. That's set wide as Curtin was driving the net. Picked up and worked up the far side. Hickey trying to connect. O'Connor now with it. Jake O'Connor kicking it wide. Dumping it in as Hansen will give chase. Anderson clearing it up the middle. That goes down off the shin pad of O'Connor. Nice play there to connect, but just in behind of Surpryuk. As it's sent back down, centering off the skate of Camo. Back to the point on the far side. Shot there by McClellan. Centering pass, shot there. Couldn't get one go. Rebound loose in front. That'll be held on to. Curtin going to get in there, and Hickey and Camo's going to, and we're going to have a little bit of a tussle. Casey got a man in a headlock. That man's got Camo in a headlock, and Casey's going to get in there, and Camo mixing it up with Hickey as they try to separate them. Casey has a hold of the extra man that jumped in as Camo ripping the helmet off of one of Hickey, and Camo and Hickey are going to head to the penalty box. Looks like as well as the captain there, Nate Surpryuk. Surpryuk getting the extra for hopping in, it looked like. All the helmets were out. Camo's going to head to the box. Surpryuk's going to head to the box as well. I believe Casey's going to join them as well. So 2 penalties for each side here, and a little bit of rough stuff ending the second period of play here. Still 2:24 remaining. Camo had enough of his teammates getting pushed around. Curtin gave his man an extra shot. Coming in to defend there, the captain, Noah Camo, showing his leadership as he tangled up with one of the bigger forwards in the league, Owen Hickey. Hickey showing his feisty side. He's a second penalty as he got into it already once earlier in this period. Should just be all of them for roughing, and I'm sure we'll stay 5-on-5 here until somewheres into the third period. No suspensions or anything like that. Maybe the extra for the slash at the start, but still waiting to hear the officials over to the Pictou bench now, having a quick chat with their coach. I don't believe anyone's getting thrown out, no fighting or anything like that. That was just a good tussle in front of the net. Couple good headlocks as a three-way headlock was going on as Camo had Hickey and then Saproka had Camo, and Casey got in there, tried to help out his captain, and as he grabbed Saproka and dragged him out of the pile. As an extra penalty here, it looks like a 5-on-4 power play for the Penguins is heading over to the box. Now will be Will Brown for the Pictou County Scotians as he enters the box with Saproka and Hickey. So a power play here to end the period. 2:24 remaining on the clock. 2-minute power play for the Penguins. As Sanford will dig in, he has Curtin, Ponapalis, Morin, and O'Connor. So the extra call going to the Scotians. So maybe the extra slash or cross check. Still undecided. I haven't heard the official call. That's worked back. Nice play trying to clear it. Sanford trying to poke it back to his point, and now that'll be cleared all the way down. Good job on the clearing attempt there. Wyatt Spence sends it 200. O'Connor's going to get pressure now. He drops it for Morin. Morin stopping behind his net, leaves it for O'Connor. Jake O'Connor back for Morin. Morin fans on the pass, and it's poked back. He'll have to go back for it. Morin's going to get his feet moving and see if he can beat the forechecker up ice. Was Burgess as it's sent down in, pinched off all the way down. Ponopoulos is going to battle with Anderson. Picked up, back to the point. O'Connor on the close side point. Back down the wall. Pressured there. Morin working it back down. She gets it back on the half wall. Morin down low. Looking for an option. Here's Morin. Looking for a shot blocked on the way through. Rebound loose in front. Battled for it in front. Can't bang that one home as Ponapalis was open in front as O'Connor now with it. Jake O'Connor through the neutral zone. Methodically leaving it off the point and offside there. Stepping in as it dropped too far and behind him and set himself offside. Face off. Gonna stay on the far side. Change here as Nicholson, Hansen, and Eidos will step out with Diab, and it looks like Bryce Stewart will replace Camo on this unit. Heads up, that's cleared into the bench, and a blocker save by the backup goaltender. Payson Stewart. So that was cleared right into him. Nice blocker save, getting in on the action. Payson Stewart from the bench, blocking the puck and putting it down in the corner of the benches. Face off gonna work back to the point. Stewart cross ice. Here's a high slot. Give and go. Nicholson takes a fall. Down low for Hansen. Eidos for Stewart. Far side. Diab centers. Good stick there. Down low, Hansen. 40 seconds remaining. Hansen to the point. Stewart back for Hansen. Hansen's going to walk in. Toe drag shot wide off the end board. Rebound set through the legs and out the far side as it went right through the crease. Stewart, far side, can't hold the line. Back into the neutral zone. Under half a minute remaining here in the second period. Stewart got to be careful as he's pressured. Works it up the wall. Down low. Stewart leaves it for Hansen. Hansen for Nicholson. Back for Hansen. Nice play there. Hansen poked off his stick. Good play by McIntyre as it goes all the way in here with 2 seconds remaining, and that'll do it here for the second period of action, live on High Button Sports. Be sure to stay tuned for this third period of action, so I'm sure it's bound to be a good one. For now, we'll take a quick intermission. We'll be back for the third period of action here live on High Button Sports after this quick break.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back as they figured out the penalties there. Camo out of the box. Hickey's the only one remaining on the far side as we get set for third period of action here live inside the East End Sportsplex Keith Miller Arena. As that puck sent in. Going to give chase there as the Scotians look to get on the forecheck here early and get one back as they trail by 3 to start the period. As it's sent in. Looking for it there was Casey in front. Picked up, worked out by the Scotians into the neutral zone. Nice give and go play as it's worked over the line. Shot there from distance into the chest protector and held on to. That shot from distance. Wyatt Spence let it go. Easy save for Boudreau as it was into his chest protector. As a good, decent crowd here on hand on this Thursday evening before Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a good weekend with your family and friends back at home as it's blocked. Back to the point, sent down low. Spence back to the point. That's going to be shot there from distance, tipped high and over. I could see Camden Burgess's wheels spinning there as he wanted to give a shot back. Thought better of it. As I face off as he'll dig in now in the offensive zone draw against Nicholson. Nicholson on his backhand, late change there. Palace will head off. Burgess, Camo sends it off the wall. Picked up in the neutral zone. Diab for Moran, back for Diab, trying to slide it home, and he slides it through the 5-hole. What a goal there on a nice setup and a great breakout. Camo sending it far side into the neutral zone. Picked up there on a nice play. Diab and Morin, and they'll make it 6-2. Face-off's going to go back here to center ice, so I think Camo's going to get the second assist on the goal. So out of the box, making an impact right away. Number 44, Noah Camo, the captain, showing his leadership here to start the third period. Face-off goes back, D to D, picked up. As that's worked back. Here's a chance shot there. That's off the toe of the stick of Captain Cyprika as it's down low. Here's Pierce. Working it up the wall. Chip back out. In the neutral zone, Diab picks it up. Has Nicholson with him. Diab pushes it down low. Trying to center, taking a run at him. Skrupka. So here's a high flip pass. No icing. Pierce down low. Far side, picked up there. High flip play there, trying to connect with Nicholson. No icing as that could have been touched, says the linesman. As the two number 77s battle with Nicholson and McNamara. As it gets sent in. Down low. Lockhead, centering pass, can't get the shot away. In front, Nate Sabrika. Now here's a chance. Casey trying to hit the trailer. Good stick there by Lockhead on the back check. Some back and forth action here in this track race. Zit goes back. Now back here come the Penguins 3-on-2. Eidos has Casey driving. He'll stop up, work it over. Sanford, far side. Down low, battling with Anderson. Eidos, shot there as he centered the pass for Casey. Back to the point, Camo. He's getting an assist already in this third period, as well as one in the second. As here's Camo, up high, waiting, shot there, just wide, rebound. Casey trying to get it towards the front of the net. Lockhead will pick it up. Lockhead through the neutral zone. Nice move around one, trying to work it back to the wall, but fans on it. Eidos has McCullum Stokes and Sanford with him. McCullum Stokes now gets it under his stick and down the corner. Worked up the wall. Crossman across the neutral zone and dumps it in as Crossman will go on the forecheck. Getting to it first. Now back, here's a nice play. Crossman On a cycle chance, Curtin will pick it off and work it back the other way into the neutral zone. Brady Curtin stopping up, finding Hansen trailing down low for McCullum Stokes, centering back past Stewart. As that goes all the way down, no icing as it was worked back by the Penguins defenseman. Working it wide, now back, here's Curtin. He'll get it and dump it right in. The forecheck will continue. Big hit there, finishing the check. McCullum Stokes as it's worked back through the neutral zone. Dumping it in, nice finishing check there. Curtin finishing his check on Amos Crossman. Curtin now, here's a chance. Brady Curtin shot there as Curtin snuck in behind for a breakaway, but nice glove save there, Eli James. My apologies, Brady, as I did your brother's game there last week. Called his name quite a few times. Brady's younger brother, Carter, playing for the under-16 Martello Buccaneers, the Maritime U16 League. So Camo Morin getting the assist on the goal by Diab. Face off, blocker side of James. Puck chipped into the neutral zone. Sent right back by Stewart. All the way, picking that up is McNamara. He cuts up the wall, finds Spence. That's picked off. Nicholson trying to center. Doesn't connect there. Picked back up in the neutral zone. That's just sent back on a blind pass there. Pierce will work it up the wall. Diab leaves it Nicholson now. High slot. Into his feet. Nicholson backhand shot into the corner. Morin has a couple of points on the night. Probably 3 or 4 more like, as so does Nicholson. This whole line very productive here as it's back. Here's a chance tipped on. Diab looking for the rebound. Picked up. Wheeled up the wall. Here's Spence. Getting it, dumping it down in behind the net for Burgess. He sent it back around. Diab flipping it into the neutral zone. Nicholson will pick it up. He'll work it down. Shot there. Nicholson, glove saved by James, and a whistle for another face-off. Diab with 4 points. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists on this evening. Morin with a goal and an assist, and Noah Camo with 2 assists. And with 2 goals and an assist is Camo. Here's a chance and a nice feed by Casey, and Nick Edos buries it home. So Casey feeds Nick Edos, and a 7-2 lead here for the Penguins. So wasn't too sure who fed the puck across, but the Penguins on an impressive 7-2 lead here now. Face off back at center, so I'm sure a little bit of rough stuff will begin here. Chipping it up the wall, finishing his check down there was Edos. Puck sent back in, picked up, worked back into the frame and sent all the way down. Gonna get in on the forecheck. McLaughlin battling down there. Centers, doesn't connect. It looked like his puck down low. Picked up. Sanford just going to barrel his way through into the neutral zone. Working it wide. Here's Casey in over the line. Looking over his options. He'll drive it down low. Casey in behind the net. Centering pass through the skates of Ito and back into the neutral zone. Lockhead. He'll weave. Drop it out wide. Drop it once again. And here's Anderson at the point. He takes a big hit on the far side. Finishing his check once again. Casey. Doing a great job, Chris Casey, in this game. Here's a chance. Lockhead sneaking in behind. The Lockhead shot off the outside of the post and wide. Callum Stokes turns it over as McCallum Stokes picks it back up and works it. Ponapoulis dumping it in. Owen Hickey giving chase. Ponapoulis down low, controlling it still. Centering for Hansen. Back. Here's O'Connor. Shot there right into the glove of James for a whistle once again. James up for the task, holding on to the puck and settling things down. McCallum Stokes will set up right to the backhand side of Jason Hansen. Puck sent in behind, battled down. Good job by Hood to keep the puck moving. Into the neutral zone, dumping it high and in. McKinnon, he's got a goal in this game. Does Drew McKinnon. Battled down and behind, 2-on-2, worked out. Here's a chance. Shot there into the chest protector, held on for a whistle. 13:05 remaining. A little conversation here with O'Connor and Brown. As the face-off's going to stay to the glove hand side of Finton Boudreau. Hansen will back out for a sec. Now he'll dig his way in. O'Connor spinning, and O'Connor's going to pick it up, avoid the hit there, and work it out to the far side. Picked up. Here's Hansen across the line. Jason Hansen's going to knock his man down as Hansen on top of the guy. Down low was Carter Hood. I believed Hood and Hansen played together through the minor hockey systems in Bedford with the Bedford Blues. As here's Hansen once again, working it to his backhand. Hansen trying to sneak around Hood once again. Is good job on the back check. Will Brown picked off, high sticking call. They'll let it go as it must have been touched by one of the players. It's worked in. Here's Camo. Noah Camo looking. Backdoor pass, too far to reach for Nicholson. Morin looking to center, picked up. Now here's a chance for the Scotians. Spence knocked off his stick there on the back check. Good job by O'Connor to get back. Worked, here's a shot. Morin off the stick of the defender, up and out of play. Nick Morin trying to capitalize off the turnover and work it back in over the line quickly. I'd like to thank you for tuning in here this evening as this Junior B game live from the East Hants Sportsplex Keith Miller Arena. 7-2 lead for the Penguins now. Here in the third period, puck mishandled and into the neutral zone. Diab will work it back. Here's a Stewart, nice move, centering pass. Morin trying to connect there with Nicholson. So it'll be picked up. Here's Stewart once again. Bryce Stewart works it across for Pierce. Here's send it back in. McNamara, D to D. Up the wall, far side, picked up. Now worked into the middle. Here's Spence. He'll cross over. Spence shot there from distance, blocker save. Is this sent away and picked right back up? Nick Morin weaving through the middle of the ice. Morin looking out wide, backdoor, looking for Nicholson. Doesn't connect as that's worked back into the neutral zone. Chip play there to himself. Nice move around one. Is he trying to get a shot away there? A wraparound attempt, looking over some options, was Martin MacArthur. MacArthur's shot now sent wide. Shot there, tipped on by Spence, looking for a rebound. That'll be held on to for a whistle. Park that front, Camden Burgess looking for a rebound. Sanford wins it back. That goes D to D by Lawson. Chipped up the wall. Eidos centering. Doesn't connect cleanly and turned back into the neutral zone. Nice pass there. Worked ahead. Looking over an option. Centering. As he tried to make a pass from his backside. That was Amos Crossman. Worked up over the line. Opus trying to connect with someone in the middle. Doesn't as it's poked off and worked back. Sorika over the line. Now here's a shot off the glove high. Picked up. Now here's a chance. Casey's going to work it 3-on-2 as Eidos and Sanford drop for Sanford. Sanford walks in. Eidos shot there high. Rebound off the glass and back as a track meet back and forth here between these two squads in the third period. McKinnon drops it wide. Shot there. Glove save into the chest protector. Held on for a whistle by Boudreau. As that was Drew McKinnon on the nice transition game there, and a good opportunity coming for the Scotians as they struggling to bury here. As they trail 7-2, 10:06 remaining in the third period. Chris Jordan digging in, wins it right back. Lockhead shot there high. Walking it in, shot McNamara off the outside of the crossbar. On a tip there in front was Chris Jordan. And a face-off's going to stay inside glove hand side. Finton Boudreau. Hansen digging in against his flipped counter numerical partner, Chris Jordan. Face-off, Hansen trying to clear it up to the point. Here's Curtin. Centers. Nice move around one. Hood's going to take the body out of play there as it's worked back. Hansen's going to have to go back for it. Jason Hansen. Nice play around one. Hansen going to try to cut up. Takes a tumble. He crawls to it and chips it out. So he crawled to it on his knees and dumped it back into the neutral zone. Curtin over the line. Dumping it down in deep. Held up there by McNamara. Ponopoulos finishing its check on Hood. Held at the line. Back down low. Hood and Ponopoulos having a little bit of a discussion as it's picked up. Lockhead, one-on-one against Como. Poked off his stick. Como using his range to his advantage. Long-ranging, smooth skating defenseman in this Junior B League. Curtin, back pass there, trying to connect with O'Connor. Another smooth skating, hard-working defenseman. Jake O'Connor. Brother plays for Dalhousie University in the AUS League. It's Camo. Picks it up. Stops up. He'll wait for some pressure. Working at far side. Here's O'Connor. Up the wall for Morin. Morin across the line. Drop pass for Nicholson. Nicholson trying to feed the front of the net. Diab was driving. Picked up here on the half wall. Nice move around one, but Diab picked it off. Centering for Morin. Poked off of his stick. Nicholson cleaning it up. He gets a shot away from his knees, and that'll be held on to for a whistle. And nothing extra after the whistle. As Nicholson with a scary opportunity in front, trying to extend their lead by 6. 7-2 the lead here. Bino will dig in against Nicholson. Offensive zone draw for Nicholson. Worked out here by the Penguins. Nice move around one as that's puck worked up and in over the line. Dumping it in, giving chase there. Will Brown. He'll get to it first, trying to center. Nicholson will pick it off. Dumping that puck in. Nicholson. Diab's going to chase. Him and McNamara colliding in the corner. Puck now in below. McKinnon cutting back. Drew McKinnon up the wall. Stepping up. Pierce centering. Nicholson trying to work it back. Going to have to back check. Pierce loses his stick in the corner. Kept it in at the line. Morin. Diab shot glove save. Held on for a whistle there by Eli James. James facing 32 shots here so far. Still 7:34 remaining in the third period. 25 shots for the Scotians. Sanford trying to win it back. McNamara, though, will pick it up, work it up the wall. Spence can't reach it. Goes past the defender there was Casey Opus. Opus up the wall. McCollum Stokes works it wide for Casey. Casey taking the hit and moving on as he just keeps on running through McKinnon. It's D-to-D, just teetering the line. As that pass center doesn't connect. Spence, pressured by Casey, lost it in the feet of the official. McNamara down low, trying to get away from Casey. Who picked up. Here's McNamara in through the neutral zone. Working one-on-one. He'll drive down low. Shot there. Rebound looking off the pad. Far side sent back down in. Picked up Casey Opus. Working up the wall for Eidos. Chipping it wide. Back into the neutral zone and dumping that puck right back in. McNamara as Eidos. Far side touched by Casey. No icing on the play as he was over center. Hood will pick it up. Here's Carter Hood. Picking speed up, working it through the neutral zone, and on his backhand now. Hood's going to drop the shoulder. Good stick there. Poking it off of his stick was O'Connor. It's picked up. Here's Curtin, going to work it back the other way. Kicking it wide. McCollum Stokes, sauce pass, Curtin, shot. Nice save is going into the post there on the back check. Was Camden Burgess. Good back check by Burgess and a good save there sliding across and making the pad save. Eli James. Hansen will dig in, offensive zone draw. He'll face off. Nate Soroika back to the point. O'Connor centers for Hansen, lets it go. Blocked in front by John K. Martin. Martin has a goal in the game. Here's a chance shot, rebound, loose in front. McCollum Stokes will back off. O'Connor poked through his feet. Now here's a chance. Soroika shot off the helmet. That's going to pop it right off as hitting Boudreau square in the chin. Captain Nate Soroika ripping that one right off the chin. Boudreau's going to take a sec here to fix his mask up. Hopefully it didn't break any buckles as the Penguins would be forced to put in the second goalie. He already has one blocker save coming on the bench earlier in the period as puck cleared into the bench, and up for the task there with a blocker save was Pace and Stewart. Boudreau still struggling to get the clips on his helmet. So I'd be curious here to see if let's say the buckles or something weren't working properly. Looks like he fixed it there now. So I'll head to the bench and they'll take the helmet off the backup goaltender. Quick swap here by the official as it looks like maybe a buckle was broken, so they'll have to get that replaced post-game. But for now, wearing goaltender Payson Stewart's helmet for the meantime as he'll pop on goaltender. So it looks like the buckle just wouldn't be able to snap back on, so that's unwearable in the meantime as Payson Stewart going to head to the bench or to the room. It looks like he's going to try to fix the helmet for his starting goaltender. Good backup goaltender. He is McCollum Stokes now over the line, poked off of his stick. Good stick there, Blake McClellan. Now here's a chance. Curtin shot, rebound into the feet of Anderson. Chipping it up. Hansen holds the line just for a second as now he dumps it back in. Out to play it. James holds the puck for his defenseman. D-to-D. Anderson up the wall. Soroika trying to get it up as Curtin will have to go back now as he'll pressure there. McClellan D-to-D for Anderson. Up the wall. Soroika will pick it up. Just popping the bucket now as he works it ahead. Into the feet of the official, trying to backhand it out in front as that goes off of McCullum Stokes now in behind. Cycling that down low. Amos Crossman takes a big hit there from O'Connor. Crossman with the hand pass takes it away though, as McCollum Stokes was the first one to pick it up, and he'll work it back. Has Curtin and Camo going to join. Poked away there and work back. Camo will pick it up. Back for Pierce, sorry. Pierce, nice spin move there, round one, and he'll get his feet moving. Pierce going to wheel it up, neutral zone. Diab off the bench, looking over some options. Diab going to try to feed it back door as Pierce was joining the play. As he gets it on the far side, working it down low. Diab looking back door off the stick into the chest protector and held on for a whistle there. Eli James face off, blocker or glove side of James. Back to the point. Shot there. Blockered away by James. Clearing attempt, held at the line by Stewart. Trying to clear once again. Hickey gets it picked off of his stick now. Here's Nicholson down low. Nicholson shot there. Can't squeeze it by as Diab now. Far side and the net knocked off its bearings. 3:57 remaining on the clock. Face-off looks like it's going to remain inside as I believe the push of goaltender Eli James knocking the nets off the post. Nicholson will dig in. Diab in behind him, trying to work it back. As it goes back, McKinnon for McNamara. That pass too far. Pierce, my apologies once again. It's Pierce, D for Stewart. Looking for it in his feet as he was pressured by Hickey. Morin leaves it there. Worked for Nicholson. Turned over and worked back. Here's a chance. McNamara in alone. McNamara forehand, backhand, forehand shot. Pad save. Good save there by Boudreau. Back now the other way. Morin working back. Hickey dishing it out wide. Big save. Sliding to his glove hand side. Shutting the door there. Eli James on a beautiful glove hand save as he robbed Diab. Backdoor on a nice feed from Morin. .322 remaining on the clock here in this one. Face off, glove hand side. After that nice save by James, held at the line only momentarily as it's worked back. And here's Brown, shot, blocker, save up into the mesh once again. Boudreau slowing the game down for his squad. Face off will stay inside, blocker hand side though. Oh no, they'll switch it over to the glove hand side. That's where the shot was released from. Snapping it on was Will Brown from distance. Blockering it away was Nate Boudreau. Face off. Stanford trying to win it back. Puck battled for. Sent down, picked up, worked out the far side. Smart play there by Isaac Lawson as it's worked in deep. Casey showing his burst of speed. Now here's Ito centering all the way through back to the point. And out. As that went through the feet of Opa. As Opa's trying to get it back in deep. Here's a chance back the other way as it's picked off. Here's Casey. Chris Casey doing it at both ends of the ice here tonight, offensively and defensively. It's worked up the wall. Hood connecting with the hit over there as it's worked back, centering. That'll be picked up and worked in over the line, dropping that puck there, working it down low. MacArthur on his backhand. MacArthur cutting back, centering pass right on the stick of Nick Eidos, and back the other way. Here come the Penguins. Sanford for Eidos. Drop pass. That'll end up right back onto the stick there of Martin MacArthur. MacArthur kicking it wide. Anderson over the line. Anderson got tripped up there on his own as that's chipped high in the air by O'Connor, and Sanford going to pressure Camo now back into his own zone. Backing off. Camo, nice pass. Sanford getting a stick on it. Tip back as Camo's going to have to go back. Icing waved off. Camo's going to wheel, stop up behind his net, create time, and use the net for protection as O'Connor's going to look. Stretch pass for Hansen. Hansen over the line. Hansen feeding here for McCullum Stokes. It goes through the feet. McCullum Stokes picks it up on the half wall. Turns it over to Spence. Spence. Camo will pick it up, spinning away from one. Pressured there. Good pressure from Martin MacArthur. Is O'Connor down now? Up the wall, looking for Ponapoulis now. Here's a chance in the high slot. Poked away by O'Connor. Pressure by MacArthur down low. As Camo will come out with it, and he'll skate methodically through the neutral zone as using his range, trying to get around Anderson. Hansen on the half wall, sending it down low, getting it out of harm's way, is tangling it up a little bit there on the half wall, it looked like. As Hansen got him to flinch there, as Buddy was calling him small, it looked like, and Hansen gave a little fake shot, and Buddy flinched on it, so Hansen laughing a little bit on that one. As I'm sure they'll continue to have words here on the bench. Can't repeat what I just heard from the Penguins bench. I'm sure maybe a mic picked it up somewhere, but hopefully not up here. Hansen letting Wyatt Spence hear it. Under a minute now remaining here in the third period. Hopefully no extracurriculars here to carry over into next game as it's chipped up over the line, turned over, working that puck back into the neutral zone and sending that puck right back in. Stewart, D to D. Half a minute now remaining in this third period. Worked up Diab over the line for Nicholson. Centering pass. Diab trying to get a shot away. Here's a high opportunity chance for Diab in the slot. He'll work it back. Pierce down low for Diab, centering for Nicholson too far. McNamara dumping it back. Pass Stewart. Will that have enough for icing? No, Stewart now getting pressured. Good forecheck there. Amos cross him. Stewart's going to try to tick off all of the seconds on this clock, and that'll do it here. So after 3 periods of play, the Penguins victorious 7-2 here over the Pictou County Scotians. Hansen having a couple words as he finished off the night on a solid note. So after 3, Pens 7, Scotians 2. Thanks for tuning in here live on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers. Hopefully have a good Thanksgiving weekend, but that's all for us here from the East Hants Sportsplex Keith Miller Arena. Have a good night.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream